slope-intercept form. So we've been talking about slope and what it looks like, but today we're going to be talking about the y-intercept. So proportional, if you remember, when we talked about proportional, it always went through 0, 0. So now we're going to be talking about non-proportional, okay? So this time it's not going to go through 0, 0. When it was proportional, this was our equation. That's what our equation looked like when we had the proportional relationship. Now, not only do you have the mx, but you have this thing called b. Okay? This is called the slope-intercept form. Why is it called the slope-intercept form? Because it has the slope in it and it has the y-intercept. Okay. When an equation is written in this form, m is the slope, as I've told you, b is the y-intercept, and what the y-intercept is, the line, it's the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So if I'm looking at this line, this point right here, that's the y-intercept. If you look at the point, that point is the point 0, 1. So anytime you have the y-intercept, it's going to come from the point 0, and then you're going to put a number here. Okay, so we're going to look at this, okay? Non-proportional linear relationships, that's what I was just saying. So, don't really want to teach it this way. We're not going to do that. We're going to come straight here. So all we have to do is remember y equals mx plus b. The m is the coefficient of x. That's the slope. The slope is always in front of the x, and the y-intercept is the number that stands alone. So it tells me identify the slope and y-intercept of the graph of the equation. To identify the slope and y-intercept of the equation, write the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Okay? So they're wanting us to take this minus 4 and write plus negative 4. You don't actually have to do that. So I am not going to let you write b equals negative 4. I'm going to make you write it as this. It helps you on the next unit if you remember that the y-intercept is an actual point. So on this, I want you to tell me what the slope is. I want you to tell me what the y-intercept is. So in order to find out the slope, I look at the number that's sitting in front of x. The y-intercept is the number that stands alone. So when I do this, my slope is negative 2 over 5. My y-intercept is the point 0, negative 1. Okay, it's telling me, remember, I'll write it here, y equals, they're already doing it for me, what I was going to write. Y equals mx plus b. Remembering, this is my slope, this is my y-intercept. Okay, so it says my slope is negative 3, so I'm going to write negative 3 here. It says my y-intercept is negative 4. So my equation is going to say y equals negative 3x minus 4. Okay, we do the same thing here. Oh, I was doing this. Did I do purple? Yeah, purple. Says in this right here, slope is 5. So my slope is 5. My y-intercept is this point right here. So I'm going to write it in an equation. 5x minus 7. Next. Now, when I'm looking at a graph, the first thing okay, I'm going to read this. The first thing that you have to do is find the location where the line crosses the y-axis. So this is what we're going to find first. Why do I want to do that? Because that's my y-intercept. So this right here is my y-intercept. I'm going to put my -1 right there. Then I have to find slope. Remember, slope is rise over run. So my slope for this is 3/2. So now I'm going to put it in my equation. 3/2 x minus 1. And that's all we do. Okay. I'm going to look at this one. And it says, where does the line crosses the y-axis at negative or 0, 4. So my y-intercept is 4. Then we're going to find the slope. Remember, we went down 1, so that's -1. So -1. We went to the right 2. So 2. So I'm going to write it in my equation. -1/2, because that's what my slope was. My y-intercept was 4, so plus 4. Okay, so we're going to come here. The first thing we do is we find the y-intercept. Where does it hit the y-axis? It hits it right there at the point 0, 2. Now I'm going to find my slope, and my slope is rise over run. So this looks like I went down 1, 2, 3, so -3, and I go over 1. So that means my slope is -3. So I write my equation in y equals mx plus b form. So I replace my m with -3, my b with 2. Okay. When an equation in slope-intercept form applies to a real-world situation, means it's a word problem, the slope represents the rate of change, purple, okay? So slope represents the rate of change, and blue, there it is. The y-intercept is the initial value, okay? When we talked about it before, we also talked about it being initial fee. What else did we call it? The starting fee. I can't spell starting today. We called it starting. We called it the initial. We called it the one-time fee, things like that. So, bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants on earth. Suppose a bamboo seedling is 5 centimeters tall and grows at a rate of 6 centimeters a day. So where is it starting at? If I look at the words of where it's starting at 5 centimeters. Okay, that's where it starts. So 5 centimeters is where it's starting. Then it says its rate, the rate is 6.5 centimeters per day. Okay, so if I was going to write that, 6.5 centimeters per day. Okay, so if I'm going to write an equation, that's 6.5 plus, or x plus 5. Okay, a student council is selling t-shirts during Spirit Week. It costs $20 for the design and $5 to print each shirt. So where are we starting with? Where are we starting at? How much is it going to cost no matter what? It's going to cost no matter what this $20. That is our starting off fee. Then each shirt is going to be the rate, because if it's one shirt, it's $5. If it's two shirts, it's $10. Three shirts, it's $15. That's the part that's going to be changing. So, without reading all of these silly words, the cost is my y-intercept. My rate is my slope, which is 5. So then I just put it into my equation. Y equals 5x plus 20. Okay, so then we're going to come down here. Faith is saving money in order to purchase a new smartphone. She started out with $30 in her savings account and is able to save an additional $15 a week. Write an equation in the slope-intercept form. So we have to figure out what slope and the y-intercept were. How much money did she start with? How much money did she start with? Okay, she started out with $30 in her savings account. That means at week 1 or at week 0, she already has $30 in her account. Then she's adding $15 each week. So that would be my slope, $15. So now I'm going to write an equation. Y equals 15x plus 30. Okay. Now, if I'm doing it from a table, okay, it's really great. If we have a table and they have 0 for the x, it's already there for you guys. It's already there. So then I have to find my slope. So my change in y over my change in x. So that means my slope is going to equal 12 over 2, which is 6. So my equation would be 6x plus 10. So they're being really nice to you guys, and they're giving you the y-intercept in each one of these. As long as x is equal to 0, that is my y-intercept. Now I need to find the slope, okay? So slope, oops, I want a pencil, not. Slope is going to equal the change in y. So I'm going to see how much is it from here to here. So 360 minus 280, that'll get me 8. So this went down 80. So negative 80 over, I'm going to look from here to here. It went up 2. So that means that my slope is equal to negative 40. 40 less pages. Okay, so if I'm going to write an equation, I'm going to do y equals negative 40x. And where did we start with? We started with 360 pages. Already did that. Okay, again, they're very nice to you. They give it 1, 0, 3. They give it to you. So that means that my point is 0, 3. Now I have to find my slope. So from here to here, it went down 3. From here to here, it went up 1. Oops, that's supposed to be in this color. Okay, so my slope is negative 3. So when I write my equation, it's negative 3x plus 3. I'm actually going to give you a different table, and I want you to do it. So I'm going to give you 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to give you 8, 10, 12, 14. Now some of you may be saying, oh no, there's no y-intercept here. And that's on purpose. So let's do the slope first. This went up by 2. Oops. This went up by 2. This went up by 2. And this went up by 1. This went up by 1. This went up by 1. So I need to know when x is equal to 0. So that means I need to go backwards. 1 and 0. I need to find out, I added 1 here, I added 1 here. What are these going to be over on this side? So I have to add 2 and add 2 to get my correct answers. So what plus 2 is going to get me 8? 6's. What plus 2 is going to get me 6? 4. So I just found my y-intercept. All I did was go backwards on my table. So then I need to find my slope, which is 2 over 1, which is 2. So my equation is 2x plus 4. I'll do another one for you. Let's see, we'll go 5, 10, 15, 20. Let's do -8, -12, -16, -20. Oh, that's funny. Didn't even mean to do that. So this right here is going down by 4, down by 4, down by 4. This up here is going up by 5, up by 5, up by 5. Okay, so I need to do the same thing here. I need to go, oh, actually I didn't need to go twice, but that's okay. So if I was to go back 5, I would be at 0. I don't actually need this part. I would be at 0, wouldn't I, if I went back 5? So then we're going to look at over here. What minus 4 is going to get me 8, -8. So I'm going to do black. -4 minus 4 is going to get me -8. So I just found my y-intercept, and my slope is -4 over 5. So my equation for this line is y equals -4/5 x minus 4. Okay, so Amir wants to ship his birthday present to his brother Express shipping charges $5 insurance fee to protect the item that are shipped and 50 cents per every ounce. So it's a one-time fee. Then this says 50 cents per ounce. So this equation is going to be y equals, my slope is 50 cents, and my insurance is $5. Okay, priority shipping costs are shown in the graph. So the y-intercept here is 3, and let's see what it's going up by. So this one up 1, 2, 3, and this one over 1, 2, 3, 4. So my slope is going to be 3/4. And since we have decimals on the other one, I'm going to make that into a decimal. Normally, I don't make it into a decimal, but that's okay. So this oopsie daisy. This equation is going to be y equals 0.75x plus 3. Okay. The present Amir wants to ship weighs 14.2 ounces. Which company costs less to ship the present? So let's see. Express shipping is going to be y equals 0.50x plus 5. So I'm going to replace the x with 14.2. So if I do 14.2 and I multiply it by 0.5, I'm going to, I should have been able to do that without a calculator. 7.1 plus 5, which means it's going to cost $12.10 to ship it. Now, if I do priority, we said 75 cents plus 3. So we're going to replace 14.2, not 1, plus 3. So 14.2 times 0.75. This gets me $10.65 plus 3. So that's going to get me $13.65. So which one costs less? Express costs less. Express costs less by 13.75 minus 12.10, $1.55.